Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope everyone is well and staying safe. Well, I have got something interesting I want to share with you today. I saw this on a YouTube video from Treasure Books. Natasha at Treasure Books has a tutorial on this, so I gave it a try. It is making faux handmade paper. So it looks like handmade paper on one side, but on the other side, it's just regular paper. So this is just a piece of copy paper, white copy paper. And so I put threads and fibers and tea and all kinds of things. You can see where the tea, this was an herbal tea. I hope you can see that. The tea actually ran a little, the color of the tea ran a little. So I'm thinking, oh, I might try raspberry tea next time. That would make some pretty colors. So here's one I made. This one I made with a coffee dyed paper. So you can see my coffee dye was pretty dark, and it was kind of an experiment. So the coffee stained the top layer, and everywhere I had my little crinkles, it got darker. And I'm like, oh, now that's pretty cool. So there's a pretty sheet. And of course, these will make great junk journal covers or pages or whatever. This was another coffee dyed page that had a little hole in it. So I actually kind of patched that hole with my fibers and my threads and my tea and what have you. And so, and then, oh, one more. And this one has leaves and tea and some threads. And this one's really thin, but also a coffee dyed paper. So you can see the coffee dyed papers are dark. This one was not coffee dyed. So a little bit of, there's the difference. So anyway, let's do it. Let me show you how it is made. So this time I'm using a piece of cardstock just because I want a little more strength to it. And she says you just use your watered down glue. This is just some glue that I have, and that might be too much. And I've got it sitting on a piece of waxed paper. So you just paint on your glue. It's like 2 parts glue and 1 part water, I believe is what she had said on there. And I did do one of them with Mod Podge. And honestly, I like the one with Mod Podge better because it's got a little bit of a plastic feel to it, a plastic coating, better than the glue. But Mod Podge is also quite expensive. And I had some white glue. So it was Puzzle Saver glue, but that's not exactly what's in there because I put some Elmer's glue also in there and watered it down a little. So there, my paper is covered with glue. Let's see. I went outside and found some oak leaves, and they're not as dry as I wish they were, but I crumbled them up as good as I could. So I wanted to really try to keep it as botanical and organic as I can. So I'm using leaves from outside. These are some dried leaves. It was a green leaf that I had dried myself in a book. So it crushed really, really well because it was very, very dry. And so I'm just kind of scattering that all around the page. I love these green leaves. I think they're so cute. So we've got green and brown so far. My favorite, this is my tea. This is the same tea bag I have done all 4 of these with, and it still has plenty of tea in it. And it was a mango herbal tea, but I don't think that matters. That's just what it was called. It was kind of an old tea that I had, so I thought, well, I don't think I want to drink it, but I will certainly craft with it. Okay, and here we have some coffee dyed gauze that I have kind of pulled apart as best as I could. As best as, y'all know that word? As best as I could. Where's Brenda when I need her? She's teaching me how to talk Southern slang. No, y'all think I do a pretty good job of it, I think, anyway. So I'm just going to add a little bit of gauze in there. And let's see, here's some gauze that's not coffee dyed, and I wanted a good bit of gauze because it's going to lay really flat in that glue, and I think it's going to work real well. I have been making face masks. I've made about 100 now and donating them to my dad's health care workers and my daughter-in-law who was a nurse. And so I decided to take just a short break and make something fun and messy. Okay, now we're also going to add some threads. So if you sew, you know, you probably have a lot of extra threads, like when you change your thread or change your bobbin or whatever, keep them in a little thread catcher basket, and they just make great additions to stuff like this. So, and what you want to do is just kind of move them all around. You want a little bit here, a little bit there. You don't really want any pattern. And now this is some sari silk threads. If you know what saris are from India, the sari silk, we love to use that in our journals. And these are the threads that come off of it and get all over the place and stick to everything, including your fingers. But I thought, well, let's just add some sari silk threads in there. So I went through my little stash and just pulled out some stuff. And I just thought, we're still organic, so this works. And we got a little color in there too. Okay, that might be enough for now. So what we're going to put on top, now the glue is still pretty wet, we are going to take a single ply of a napkin. You know, napkins usually have 3 plies. And this ply, I don't know if you can see it, but it had a little bit of blue stained on it, even though it's a single piece. But I thought, well, I'm just going to add that. See that little bit of a blue? It had some hydrangea pictures on the napkin. So I'm just going to kind of gently pat this down and stick it into that glue. And see all those wrinkles? I like that. I know some people decoupage and they want to get every wrinkle out. I love the wrinkles because to me it just creates character. All right, see that sari silk grabbed me. Did you see that? Now what we're going to do, we're going to put a coat of glue. Same messy, messy Marvin here. Same messy glue. I'm going to put another coat of glue on here. And carefully now with a very light touch, because that napkin will tear. If you tear, you just take a piece of this and glue it down and patch your hole. But what we want to do is just carefully spread this out over the entire thing and get out all the air bubbles. Yeah, there we go. This is going to be a very pretty one. And then once you've done that, all you're going to do is set it aside to dry. Now, once it's dry, it'll kind of be stuck to your wax paper. Did I tell you I put it on wax paper? I think I did. I'm not sure. It'll kind of be stuck, so you'll just kind of have to peel away from the edges of your wax paper. And just peel carefully, because it is possible to tear it. I tore a couple of little spots, but like I said, you can go back and patch that even after it's dry. So I'm just looking for air bubbles and dry pockets, and I am squishing them all out and making sure everything has a good coat of glue and no air bubbles. Now, if you keep your ingredients, or whatever word you want to use, your things that you're sprinkling on there, if you keep them pretty flat, it's pretty easy to get all the air bubbles out and get it smooth. I did some, I guess it was like a cedar or something, and it was just too thick, and every time I touched it, it ripped the napkin on the top of it. So I'm using really flat things. And like I said, if something doesn't work, something buckles or is too thick or anything like that, you just tear off a piece of your napkin and just glue it on there and Mod Podge it down and glue it down or whatever. Okay, so we're going to set this aside to dry, and it'll take a little while for this to dry. So I'm going to go back to my sewing machine and make some more masks while I'm waiting for this to dry. So anyway, give it a try, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day and stay safe. Bye-bye.